We look to the heavens for hope, guidance in a world of uncertainty. Within our universe, a mighty star shines bright over us and reflects itself to enlighten our darkness. It is from that star that our very molecules are born, boundless and bright. That mighty star commands a universe of stars that bear witness to our history and are attached to our ideas of the future. In these stars, we find our beginnings. In these stars, we learn of our endings.
Hello, everybody. It's Mashup time, and we are. Oh,
Wait, what happened? Why do you say, oh, Dwayne? What's going on?
I swear, when you get your producers off of Fiverr, you really can't expect much, can you?
Wait, what are you? I don't understand what's going on your end. What's wrong?
What's
Oh
wrong?
my God. I'm dying right now. It's like you have this really cool, sort of jazzy, bluesy intro. Like I'm all into it. And all of a sudden it like starts again. And I'm like, ooh, maybe he's done something different. And then it's like,
Yeah,
there's all this crazy stuff going on. I'm like, whoa.
it was craziness. But hey, that's still going on because until the 29th, we still have Mercury in retrograde. So I am not at all surprised.
I'm checking out.
And this is so I'm your host. I'm one of your hosts, Dwayne, and we're here with Stacy, the Black Feather Intuitive, and this is the Mashup, where we do astrology and tarot, and we have live callers, and it's always so much fun. How are you doing, Stacy?
I'm doing fabulous. I mean, that intro just was exactly what I needed. It broke up all of the, Keone and I have been doing some recording this morning. And whenever I do recording, I get so in my head and I'm like, it's got to look like this and it's got to be that. And we tried something new. And so I'm thrown into this and I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what I needed to clear the air. How are you doing, Dwayne? What's going on in your world?
I'm doing great. Everything's wonderful. Couldn't be better. And manifesting a lot, doing a lot of great stuff. So I'm really excited about this time of year, especially, like I said, after this Mercury retrograde, I think things are going to be really amazing.
Yeah. How are you feeling about the eclipse energy because we're in that lunar eclipse energy?
And I'm in the path, so my friends are coming and staying and we're going to go to this amazing place to watch it and be there for it. And there's three things happening. Venus will be visible. And then there's this R9271 or whatever comet that will also be visible. So there's
Ooh.
Woo!
Bless you.
A lot going on.
That's that comet. That comet's like, yes, I'm here.
You guys won't see me anymore after the comet because this is the time where I'm getting on a spaceship. I've been waiting for it since I was 10 years old. So now I'm going to be getting on a spaceship for the comet and you guys won't see me anymore.
Wow, I see you're still resisting the meds.
I'll be waving at you from afar. I'll be waving at you.
Still telling the doctors, nope, not taking the meds. Sorry. Sorry, I'm fine the way I am. Mm-hmm.
It always makes me laugh. I mean, it's been years and years and years and years since I saw this movie, but Independence Day, there's one scene in there where they've got all the people with the tin hats and, like waving the signs, like, take me home, like I'm ready. I think to myself, you know what? If that was the case, that would be me. I would be one of the people with the signs like, I'm ready. Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of thing you see oftentimes in like mental hospitals, things like that,
Sure. Well,
not that
I guess
rare.
that's where I'm at. It's my mental hospital for one, and my fur babies are my doctors.
I
That
always say
actually works.
my comedy shows are like medicine time at the mental hospital.
Oh, sure,
That's
sure.
the best time at the mental hospital.
That's too funny. So I was wondering, I don't know about you, but I know for me, like with the lunar eclipse being in Libra and the focus really being on relationships, I've really noticed, yes, I've had a lot of focus on relationships in my life, but I've also really noticed that there's been an extreme focus on my relationship with myself.
Mhm.
And I didn't think that that was actually really a Libran trait, that it was more relationship with others. Can you maybe shed some light on that astrologically, what that's all about? Or
Yeah,
maybe it has
well,
nothing to do with it and it's just me.
no, especially if you're talking about Libra in the moon is the mothering aspect, and so if your mother was a Libra, or if that relationship between you and yourself is the mothering relationship, like if you are the mothering relationship with yourself, then that's what it's going to affect. So it's like if you
Mm,
have a friend, even if it's a male who tends to be more maternal, that's going to be the relationship that gets affected by this moon energy. And by the Libra will bring around balance and justice. Not even, it won't bring it around, it'll bring around a heightened awareness of that aspect.
right.
So it'll make the fairness of your mother relationship, that's the crux of it. The fairness of your maternal relationship comes into focus and hyper focus and starts to make you feel certain things and wonder, like, what's going on? Should I be now? If that mother's relationship is within yourself, then you might be thinking, what do I need to do to make myself more confident? Or all the things you would tell a child. You're
Right.
good enough, honey. No, go do that. No, sweetie, don't do that. That kind of thing. And you do that within yourself. That's your own mothering inspiration.
That's interesting because there has been a lot of, I want to say, internal focus on the balance between the divine masculine and feminine too during that time. So yeah, that really resonates. I hadn't thought of it in that way. So thanks for that perspective. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And isn't it interesting? We're coming around to this time where all that stuff is blurred. Like I saw a guy the other day full of muscles with 6-inch red nails, holding hands with his 67-year-old girlfriend, and he was mid-20s. I mean, it's like the whole world has completely exploded. And
Right.
it's kind of great because why
Yeah.
shouldn't a 25-year-old be wearing 6-inch nails and sleeping with a 67-year-old? By all means.
Right.
And there's a good
Absolutely.
mother relationship. I bet you that's going to be some hot sex during this moon. Yes, mommy.
Though I think it's great. It's the nonconformity that
Yeah,
we're really embracing, and Aries
yeah,
season is very. I mean, Aries is a nonconformist.
yeah,
Aquarius really is the nonconformist of the zodiac, but Aries is often nonconformity too because they're just
yeah,
like, screw you, I don't need anybody's permission to do anything. I'm just going to go and I'm going to figure it out. This is a great idea and let's do it. And
yeah,
come hell or high water, regardless of what happens, I'm still pursuing it. So
yeah.
I like that idea of nonconformity. It's funny. I've been watching this show. I'm behind on all my shows, right? So I'm catching up, where the rest of the world was like, that was so like 87. I'm just catching up to it now. And there's a show out there called Scorpion,
Oh,
and
yeah,
Catherine McPhee, who I didn't know anything about at all until I started sort of watching the show. She's married to David Foster, a
yeah,
very famous Canadian composer. And, there's 34 years age difference between
yeah,
the two of them. And I'm watching her in watching this show was during the time that they started to kind of get together as well. So I'm really watching that and thinking about exactly what you said. It's the nonconformity. It's
yeah,
the anything goes, and how
yeah.
liberating that is to be able to say none of it matters. We're getting
Right.
rid of the linearity of life and saying let people be people.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at like some famous, Aries, There's Celine Dion. There's
Mm.
Brandy. There's, let's see, who else is in Aries? There's so many. Debbie, what's her name from the old movies? Debbie.
Reynolds?
Yes, Debbie Reynolds. She was in Aries. So many Aries, and if you look at their lives, they really are, like you were saying. They don't conform. They do whatever. In fact, most Aries, if you are not on their side explicitly, then you are automatically on the other side and you must be destroyed. That is the idea
Right.
behind, and it's very military. It's ruled by the red planet Mars, which is all about war and that kind of thing. They tend to like military style in clothing, in all that stuff, you know.
Hmm.
It's not rare that you'll see an Aries wearing camo. You know,
Right.
they love that kind of stuff. So it's very interesting how all this stuff really works together. And since we're in Aries, the moon is having an event and it's in Libra. That's fire. The moon can count as water, and the Libra counts as air. So fire, water, air. The only thing not in focus right now is earth, which is like that anchoring down kind of, and fire.
Yeah.
So that means, and there's always a duality. So with those things in focus, what is your fire and earth element telling you? You know, the earth is your stability, is your drive, is your career happening, what's going on in that area. So that's something to take a look at.
Tangibility.
And then
Yeah.
the fire is, what are you producing? What are you creating? What are you making out of your hands or your mind that then takes life and becomes tangible in the reality?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Forging.
So, but with the air and the water, it's feeling and it's thought and it's consciousness. So it's, what are you thinking and what are you feeling? So if everybody wants to totally see, kind of tap into what right now is, think about what you're thinking a lot of and what you're feeling a lot of. And keep in
Mm.
mind that that is a perfect that's a perfect recipe for manifestation. What you
Yeah,
think about and
absolutely.
what you feel about will
You
become
manifest.
right.
Yeah. Tanya, I see that you're like, I feel seen. That's great. I think that's amazing. Sometimes we feel seen at times when we wish we weren't. You know, we're having those human moments.
When you shit your
Um,
pants.
right, right. Picking your nose, doing your thing. But yeah, no, I think that's great that you feel seen. And Aries season, this particular Aries season, I feel that's really actually important right now. Aries wants to be seen, not so much like when we think of Leo that they want to be sort of front and center, but Aries wants to be seen, but they don't care if they're seen or not. And that's the beauty of it, because in speaking of manifestation, that's also a key ingredient and component, bless you, of
Thank you.
manifestation is putting it out there and then letting it go and not caring about when or what or why or how, because you've already released it. And so then you're open to receiving it. So I feel like, being seen, it's really that energy of, okay, I've been acknowledged. And so now I don't have to waste any energy on that. I know that that part's already done. So now it's moving on to the next and
Yeah.
keeping that forward momentum going.
And think about the season. We're going into spring, and I mean, we're in spring now. So, we have a guest, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome. Oh, Tanya's in
Tanya
Aries. That's
is in
great.
Aries.
Perfect.
So, Dwayne, let's go ahead and get her a horoscope. Tanya, wait, I'll get it from Tanya. Let's start with Jocelyn. Jocelyn says 7-6. She would like a guidance or a horoscope, but since she's our first one, we'll give her both.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, so 7-6, that is a Cancer sun. In the time of Aries right now, you're a water sign being affected by the fire. And so what's happening is your emotions and things might be feeling like the best way to either deal with emotion and things like that is to do something, is to create an event to happen, to keep your mind off things, to watch something to keep your mind off things, that kind of stuff. When in actuality, what you may want to do is fight that natural urge to go against it and to really go into it, especially for an Aries. I mean, I'm Cancer. you're supposed to be feeling your emotions and allowing them to be felt. And one of your biggest things as a Cancer is you don't like other people to see you vulnerable because you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders usually. You're usually the pillar of the family, the one that people come to and, say that I need help. What should I do? Those types of things. And then when you need to come and be really, vulnerable, you feel like you can't kind of bend anybody's ear or lean on anybody's shoulder. So it's important to do that. Go against that. It's the rule of opposites. If your mind is telling you no, stay away from this thing that's coming up to you naturally, then that's not good advice. It's go into it, get over it, and then once we get into the Taurus part of things, which is right after Aries, and we get into Earth, that's when things really settle for you because Earth and water is a really good thing. It's about connecting with the Earth while feeling the emotion at the same time. So I think there's good things ahead for you. And I think that if you just deal with your emotions and allow them to be and get through them, it happens quickly and you're done. And then it's all downhill from here.
Awesome. All right, Jacqueline, I'm pulling a card for you. And I feel like what I want to pull is what action step do you most want to take or is most beneficial for you during this eclipse season in particular? Oh, beautiful. 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is perseverance. It's also a card of control. Do I feel in control? Do I feel out of control? Where am I being controlling with the universe? Where am I micromanaging the universe? Wands energy is the fire, the spirit, the soul. This is our passion, our drive. And I feel like what's sort of transpiring for you in this eclipse season is to really get clear and focused on what it is that you are pursuing and persevere with that. Don't let anything get in the way of that focus, that energy. And you don't have to be, I want to say, you don't have to be like a bulldozer, but you want to be strong and firm in what it is that you're seeking. Also, the 9 is really significant in that, well, it means a number of different things, but what I'm getting for you is service. So where are you in service and how are you in service to others? You may decide to shift a little bit some of that and say, you know what, I know I've been in service to you for this length of time in this way, but I'm not feeling it anymore. And so I'm going to shift it up. I feel like there's one thing in particular over the course of this next month that you are going to, I want to say, let go of that commitment, releasing that obligation. And it's going to feel really good for you because what I feel it does is it clears a pathway for you to really be able to connect and pursue the thing that is more aligned with where you're going and growing. And we see that here in this card. You've got the campfire and we've got the beautiful sort of DNA swirl up the wand, and it produces the diamond, the clarity. So you're burning away and purifying something in order to provide more clarity or to turn the coal into the diamond, right? So I feel like it's action step for you. You're taking that action and you're receiving the clarity on the other side of it. That's the goal. The goal is the clarity. So I feel like you're going to be kind of releasing something. It doesn't feel like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being dramatic and full of grief and all the rest of it, I want to say it's a 4, but it's impactful. I want to say it's significant. Own your power and own your truth around it, and don't second guess yourself.
Every time you say the word release, I'm scared with what Dwayne's going to say.
Oh, I thought about it.
I know you did. I looked right at your camera when she said release. In response to Dwayne's horoscope, Jocelyn said, "Oh, thank goodness." And then she said, "Thank you, both of you, for her horoscope and guidance." So Tanya, Dwayne, is April 16th.
She's in Aries. All right. So she's right in there too. So she may even be experiencing sinus headaches, things like that. So keep that in mind. If that happens, then what you need to do is allow your head to kind of like hold back and then maybe use hot steam and stuff, because that can happen to Aries. It's weird. They're all about the head. It's strange. But then cover yourself in red. This is a good time for you. This is the time where you're probably feeling really comfortable. Like things are, you're optimistic about this spring happening. You're optimistic about things coming up, and you should be, because there's 2024 for Aries is like, I don't know, it's just like a huge, amazing thing. And for this eclipse to be happening during Aries is just, I mean, all of the Aries who have a lot of Aries in their sign. Now imagine you could be an Aries sun sign, born in April or March, at the end of March, but then you may have, 9 signs in mostly water and earth and have a different kind of feeling. But if you have a lot of Aries in your chart, you're feeling high right now in a way. So you really want to make sure that you take advantage of this time. As we go into Taurus, you're still going to have a good time. As we go into Gemini, you're still having a good time in the way of you're talking to a lot of people, getting a lot of and then when we get into Cancer for you, that's where it kind of flips a little bit. But still, this whole year is going to be good for you. So keep that in mind. Good for career, good for love. In right now, it's good for love. Surround yourself in the color red. Wear red clothing. Anything you can do to have some red on your body, and also um, really focus on what it is you want. So if you manifest something, it's not a bizarre version of what you want. So for instance, if you want a car, first of all, when you manifest, you don't say, I want a car. You say, thank you for the car. But you could say thank you for the car 100 times and then get a car that has one missing wheel or something like that. It's very, like, you have to make sure that you're very detailed, especially in Aries. You have to be very detailed about what you want. So keep that in mind. I could go on forever, But
I believe you.
That's a really positive reading. Tanya, I'm
And
kind of
she
excited.
agreed.
I almost want to be an Aries with that energy. Am I pulling a card for Tanya?
Sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
I predict it's going to be an air card. Let's see. I have a feeling.
So 5 of Wands.
Oh, it's a fire
Sorry.
card. Oh, well.
The cards are showing wands today. So we had the 9 of Wands, and now we've got the 5 of Wands. So Tanya, I feel like this year, along with all that really delicious juiciness that's coming through for you that Dwayne was sharing, I'm feeling also that this is a year of learning for you. You're learning, and I don't mean like life lessons learning. I feel more like you're training up for something. You're prepping for the big leagues. There's something big that's coming up for you in 2025. And this is not so much a foundational year, although we could call it that, because there is a level of foundation. But I also feel like you're upping your skills. You're upping your game. So when we're talking about the 5 of Wands, 5 is that shift, that change, that transformation. It can represent conflict. But what I keep seeing for you is it's almost like you've conquered the conflict, and it's no longer about conflict. It's more about separating the wheat from the chaff, really getting to the heart of the matter and not beating around the bush. So for you, yeah, more fire for you. Exactly. But the fire is good because you, as a fire sign, more fire, sometimes it can burn you out. But I feel like the 5 is, it's right in the, it's like in the dead center of the, the ace through to the 10. So it's right in the middle. I feel like for you, it's actually going to provide balance. So opening up to learning and the training and upping your skills on every front or every level of your life that you're feeling called to is really only going to help you. It's certainly not going to hinder you. Now, you don't have to overdo it. I don't feel like this is necessarily you saying, oh my God, I have to go back and get that doctorate, unless that's something that's been on your mind. This feels more like taking opportunities for those weekend workshops, taking a 4-hour online course, taking an online course that's self-directed, and you're learning different things. Self-improvement, self-awareness and self-improvement is really important foundationally for 2025, because I feel like you're going to be teaching a lot of people, and you need to be I want to say at your core, you need to be solid and firm in that truth and in that knowing, because there's going to be a lot that's blowing around you that could easily knock you off course if you aren't standing true and firm in that up-leveled energy and that information and wisdom. So it's going to be powerful. And from the eclipse season perspective, I am feeling like whatever you are learning or training yourself up to do in this particular period of time is going to what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's going to expand, it's going to grow, it's going to become more than what you're initially stepping into. So it all feels good. Feels really, really good.
She says, more fire for me. And when Dwayne was talking about how great she feels this season, she says, I am sure. You know, one thing I don't hear a lot about on this channel, we get people that come in for readings, and I haven't heard one stinking Gemini the entire time we've been doing this show. Am I the only Gemini alive?
So I'm a Gemini moon. So we're both kind of a little Gemini here in the house.
Yeah, well, I'm June 8th. I haven't done my, even though Dwayne has yelled at me 90,000 times to do my full natal chart. I haven't done it yet, so I don't know what moon rising, landing. I don't know anything except I'm June 8th.
Well, we got to get on that, dude, especially with you producing these kinds of shows. I mean, you've got access to it. Why not?
Yeah, no pressure, right? I don't have anything else I got going on. But
it takes
Dwayne,
10 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
calm down. You can do it in 10 minutes. And if you don't do it, you'll never know. And if you die tomorrow, you will never have known all of your signs. So
I
do
can't-
it.
That's your divine blueprint. That's kind of the master blueprint that you can always refer back to for your soul journey, your soul destiny. It's helpful information.
I didn't come on here to be lectured by everybody, but that's okay.
Well, too bad, honey.
So-
Okay.
So
would
here's
you
the
like
thing.
a reading? Would you like a
Yes,
reading?
so that's what I haven't done one of these in a while.
You know
But,
what we could
those
do?
of you who have never seen me before, hey.
You know what, Keone? Why
Yes.
don't you send me your info and I'll do it live while we're doing the
Yeah.
readings. I will
Let's
do
do
your
that.
whole
You just
chart
need
right
to know
now.
What do you
we
want
need
me to
know your
send
birth
you?
time.
So send me your date of birth,
I'll
time of
private chat
birth.
you. June.
Yeah, date,
okay.
time, and location.
Where you were born.
Baptist
Yeah.
Hospital.
Don't tell anybody. This could be the question on your credit card or something.
I don't know the time though.
Oh shit! All right. Well, we can give it a shot.
To get the time, I'd have to call my mother, and I don't want to talk to her. So
no, there's another way that we could get the time. Do you know if you were born morning or afternoon or evening? Do you know
I know it was in an elevator, and I think it was evening.
Okay,
all right.
So I'm going to show you a quick trick, and this will help everybody watching. This is how to use your body as a psychic antenna. So Keone, what you want to do is you want to kind of stand up. You want to just kind of stand with your legs loose, arms loose, and you want to ask yourself the question, body, tell me my yes. What is my yes? And for me, my yes, my body falls forward. So ask your body, tell me my yes.
Tell me my yes. I'm leaning right. Why is my body moving?
Okay, that's good. So you're leaning right. So your yes is when your body leans right, you know that your body is a truth detector and telling you, yes, that's truth. Now, ask your body, what is my no?
What is my no? I'm going backwards.
Okay, so your no is backwards, just like mine. Now, I want you to pick a statement that you know is untrue. Like for me, I always choose I hate dogs because that's laughable. And whenever I say, okay, I hate dogs, my body falls backwards so fast because it's not true.
Stacy pays me a lot of money. I'm going backwards.
It's because I don't. But you don't charge me a lot either. I pay what you ask.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so now, because you think it's in the morning, what you want to do is you want to ask, was I born in the morning?
Was I born in the morning? I'm moving backwards.
Okay. Was I born in the afternoon?
Was I born in the afternoon? I'm moving backwards.
Okay. Was I born in the evening?
Was I born in the evening? This is creepy. I'm moving right.
Okay. So you were born in the evening. So keep
Ooh.
standing.
What?
Keep standing. Keep standing.
Oh,
So we're gonna continue the process. So now you want to say, was I born before midnight?
was I born before midnight? I'm not moving.
Okay. Was I
Oh,
born
wait, I'm
after?
going right. I'm going right.
Okay. So now we can say, was I born between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m.?
Was I born between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m.? I'm moving backwards.
Okay. Was I born between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m.?
Was I born between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m.? Moving backwards.
Okay. Was I born between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m.?
Was I born between 7 p.m. and 8 p.m.? Backwards.
Was I born between 8 and 9 p.m.?
Was I born between 8 and 9 p.m.? I moved kind of to the right and backwards. Does that mean I'm getting closer?
Okay, so was I born between 8:30 and 9:30 p.m.?
That
Was I
could mean
born
test
between
tube also.
8:30 and 9:30 p.m.? I just moved to the right.
Okay, so we know that it's between 8:30 and 9:30. So was I
Perfect.
born between 8:30 and 9 p.m.?
Was I born between 8:30 and 9? I'm moving to the right.
Okay, so now was I born between 8:30 and 8:40 p.m.?
Was I born between 8:30 and 8:40 p.m.? I'm moving to the right.
Okay, so now you're just going to do it by half. So was I born between 8:30 and 8:35?
Was I born between 8:30 and 8:35? I'm moving to the right.
Okay, was I born at 8:35?
Was I born at 8:35? I'm moving to the. That would have been messed up if I moved backwards. I'm moving to the right.
Okay, so there's your birth time.
Oh my God, you're a
8:35
you're a
p.m.
Sagittarius rising. I should have known. You're such a Sagittarius.
I don't know what any of that means. So
Well, I'm
you
gonna
could be
send you right
insulting me right now.
now. Oh wait, I can't send you a message, can I?
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
Jocelyn
there it
says,
is.
I'm definitely going to try this. Jocelyn, that is okay. So while I was doing it, anytime you're doing something, and even though I've been doing this for you a while, if you're not really into this or understand it, you're like, whatever, right? I'll
Yeah.
play your silly game, right? And then as I'm asking questions, my body is literally leaning and I'm not making it lean. I
Yeah.
even tried to stand still on one of your questions and my body was still moving to the right.
The body doesn't lie. The body keeps the score.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do that again one episode just for people who haven't seen it. That was crazy. All right.
Yeah. So you can use that because there are a lot of people who don't know when their actual birth time is. So this is a great tool. It's tedious, but it's a great tool to really be able to ascertain specifically the birth time that you need.
But can you use that tool for anything else? Just like you said it's your truth needle, or what did you call it? Your
Yeah,
truth compass?
absolutely. So I always use the analogy, but I actually do this. I'm at the grocery store, and if I'm trying to decide between two different products or whatever, I'll ask, I'll hold the object in one hand and I'll say, is this, for my highest and best, or is this going to serve me, or is this what my body needs? And based on how I lean, because everybody's yes and no is different. Mine happens to be I lean forward for yes and I lean backwards for no. So if I get a yes, I'm like, okay, great. I don't have to worry about this other stuff.
You're the same as Tanya. Tanya says I'm a forward backward leaner.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually a fairly common thing. It's less common. Like with Keone, we got to see somebody who isn't sort of that, not that you're not normal, but what is normal, right? I like to see.
Wait, so the first one was the first one true or the false? Because I leaned backwards and then to the right. So what comes first? The thing that's a lie?
What we asked was your body. You asked your body, what is my yes?
Okay.
So, like, you can ask your body yes or no questions. If I go on a date with this person, is this person going to be for my highest and best? And if
Okay.
the body gives you the yes,
Mhm.
then you can say, okay, that's in the affirmative. If your body gives you a no, that gives you
Okay.
some
So
food
I'm
for
a
thought.
yes, right, backwards, no. Okay.
Yes,
Gotcha. All right,
correct.
Dwayne, what's my horoscope?
All right. Well, it's pretty interesting. And I just emailed you the 30-page report that interprets each of these signs. However, I also sent just the signs that you are, and it's amazing. So you're going to love this, Stacy. So he is, of course, a Gemini sun, a Sagittarius moon, a Sagittarius rising.
Wow.
Yeah, his moon is in Capricorn, in
Jesus.
Placidus. Mercury, Cancer, Venus, Leo. So he
Oh, that makes so much sense.
right, he likes to be the pretty one in the relationship.
Wait, what? That's
He
never
likes
been
to
a
be
thing.
the yep. Let's see, Jupiter, Cancer, Saturn, Leo, Uranus, Scorpio. Of course, I see that Scorpio in there.
Ooh.
Neptune, Sagittarius. So he's got 4 Sagittarius now. Pluto, Libra, Lilith, Cancer, and North Node is Libra. I see that too.
Oh, yeah. Love that.
And
So your true north is relationship and fairness and balance.
yeah,
What's
That's
this
beautiful.
one where it's you know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna share this. Can I share this?
yeah.
Yeah,
So
go
let's
for it.
let's we're going off the rails here, people, but that's okay because we are going this is very good
And and you
and
know what?
informative.
I wanted to show you something else, Keone. I'm going to
Yeah.
send you the your actual birth, like the
I thought he was
wheel.
gonna say he's gonna send me my birth certificate. I was gonna
No,
say,
I'm going to
what?
send you your mother's placenta. No, um, no, I sent you the birth wheel, and when you see that, what that is basically the universe from above at the exact moment of your birth. So I just texted it to you.
So this is what you just sent me.
Yeah,
Okay. And I so of course I'll read it. It says the following table shows the position of the planets in your chart by sign and degree. You will also find the sign of your ascendant and the sign on the cusp of each house in your natal chart, only if the birth time is known. The Roman numerals refers to the houses where the okay, gotcha. So now I'm looking at this. So all of this, when I'm looking at this, if I'm a person that has no idea what I'm looking at,
right.
what is this meeting with me? The chart that says zodiac, tropical, and Placidus
If
orb.
you did you get my email?
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Okay, so go down further.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right.
Keep going.
All right.
Okay, now we're going to start to see explanations of each of those lines has a like 2 sometimes 3 paragraph explanation. So keep going.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I like that. So that's what you do when you're looking up your birth natal
Yeah,
chart.
now just go to the explanation of what your ascendant means because that's going to be very interesting cuz Sagittarius you're going to love it. It's so fun and positive.
Well, and the rising or the ascendant sign is really
Down.
for everybody what you're here to learn, what you're walking your path with. So it's how
Yeah,
you show up in the world. So it's
keep
it's
going
almost more important than your sun.
until it says ascendant and then it has a paragraph underneath it explaining it. Keep going.
I don't see that.
Yeah, keep going.
Aspects, birth
It's a
chart, the sun. The sun is a Gemini, sun
yeah,
in 7,
degrees.
the moon in Sagittarius,
Yeah,
the moon in the 11th house,
yeah,
Mercury in Cancer, Mercury, Venus. Geez, I got a lot of stuff in
yeah.
me.
Everybody
Good
does. That's
Lord.
why you can't just say, "Oh, I'm a Gemini." Like that's why when people say, "Oh, well, I read the horoscope and it was for my sign and it wasn't
Oh,
anything to do
your
with you."
ascendant in Sagittarius, is that what you're
Yes.
talking about?
Yep.
That's
Go
the
ahead,
one.
read
The
that.
Bing, bing.
ascendant in Sagittarius?
We don't see it anymore, just so you know. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
stopped,
Hold
but
on. I
it,
have to resize it because I had taken it off. And let's see. Uh Oh, it's not moving on there. Okay, that's okay. I'll just
Yeah,
read it
just
out
read
loud.
it. Yeah.
The world is filled with adventure, new things to experience, and most of all, hope with the ascendant. There is an unmistakable faith and enthusiasm with Sagittarius rising people. Grand schemes, big promises, and a willingness to explore and experiment are themes. Although follow through is not strong characteristics of the Sagittarius. These individuals are somewhat restless and often active people. This is true because I start things and then I have to get people to finish them for me because I love creating new things. And then I have to that's why I've got Martin and April. And because I was like, I can't
That's
keep doing
Yeah,
this.
it's
Sagittarius.
the visionary in you.
They always
Yeah.
seem to be looking for something that is just out of grasp. Oh, God. And many do their entire lives. No, don't tell me that. They can be quite direct at times, yet they are likable enough to forgive for their faux pas. I'm glad I can read. Most have a lot to say and offer. Oh my God. Their insight and opinions are usually interesting and exciting, although sometimes lacking in details. Well, that part I could say it's not true. I always give a lot of details.
That's
So,
Gemini.
That's
That's
the
the
Gemini
Gemini.
in you.
okay,
Yeah.
Yeah,
gotcha.
the
Sagittarius
communicator.
rising people have opinions about everything. Well, even though I don't say it, I do. And they just love telling others exactly what they are. Not all people with this position are outgoing folk, but they all have a way of moving about that at least exudes a certain level of confidence. Some might even call them naive or overly optimistic. Yeah, even the quiet ones don't shrink from life, from experience. One of the most obvious and enduring traits of a Sagittarius rising is their willingness to keep up a sense of humor. I guess, Dwayne, you could say that's true.
Mhm.
Even when they're feeling low, they manage to find humor in life and have fun with whatever they do. The placement Sagittarius ruling planet, Jupiter, will give more clues to how they go about expressing themselves. Jupiter in Capricorn, for example, might give a more sarcastic approach, but underneath there lies an unmistakable hope of spirit and living. You know what? That's so true. Not to get gloomy, but when I was in Iraq and we got attacked by a vehicle bomb, my lieutenant got his leg chopped off a little above the knee, below the knee. So at the hospital, we're in the hospital. He's laying in bed. The nurse says he's been in here for 2 weeks. He hasn't talked to anybody. So we're all standing around the bed, and no one's really saying anything because no one knows what to say. And I just go, LT, you can't argue with me anymore. He goes, why? I said, you don't have a leg to stand on. And everybody went, but he just started laughing his ass off.
Yeah.
Uh, and everybody
You
goes,
broke the tension. You called out the pink elephant in the room, and he was so grateful
yeah.
for that.
So that was great. So, okay, I'm going to have to read this whole thing because
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great
interesting.
toilet material, just so you know. And also, now people can can understand what we mean when we say get your chart done. It's
Uh,
literally like a combination lock. It
Yeah, it
means
really
your
is.
sun sign is not everything.
Yeah.
no,
I
I'm
remember
I'm
when I
laughing because I was late getting Stacy's recordings done this morning because that's exactly where I was on the toilet.
Okay.
Thank you guys.
You're welcome. No, I remember years ago, when I was just sort of I wasn't even like, I'll say I was beginning my spiritual awakening journey, but I wasn't like fully connected to my psychicness and understanding all the things and the stuff. And I just really was drawn to the astrology thing. And I got this huge book on the Virgo. And I remember like reading it and feeling like 2/3 of it made so much sense. 2/3 of it I could identify with, but there was that third that I was like, well, that's not me at all, or that doesn't feel like me at all. And because I had no understanding or awareness about astrology and what it actually meant, I thought maybe there was something wrong with me, that I didn't quite fit this Virgo mold. And it wasn't
Yeah.
until many years later when I realized, oh, sun, moon, rising. And in fact, the rising is almost, I mean, they're all important, they're all
Right.
significant, but the rising is the most important of the entire chart.
Yeah.
And I live today like I'm Virgo sun, Gemini moon, Libra rising. I feel so much more Libra
Yeah.
than I feel Virgo. in many ways.
Same with me. I'm a Sagittarius moon, but I'm a Capricorn rising, and I am so Capricorn in so many ways, you know. But luckily with the Sag, so I'm not overly sarcastic like my partner, who's a Capricorn.
Oh boy! Wow, so you guys are like mirrors.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow,
So it's
that's crazy.
interesting.
Yeah, no, I love that. I wanted to make a comment. I noticed that Tanya said, just kind of going back to the body as a truth detector. She says she does it with the interlocking middle finger and the thumbs too.
Oh.
That's definitely a great tool for me. I was taught that as well, and it never really like I don't have enough confidence in it for me for it to work for me. So I use my full body. I wish I had a little more confidence in what it was bringing to me, because then I wouldn't have to be standing in the middle of the grocery store or somewhere in public and people are like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, are you going to pass out?" I'm fine. I'm fine.
I just imagine myself going in a grocery store randomly and seeing a crowd of people around Stacy, and because so many people kept asking her, is she okay? She's giving a lesson on truth needle, on body truth to everybody.
I can't tell you that it hasn't happened. So,
and I can't.
What you're visioning is true.
I can't stop thinking about it turning into a flash mob and everybody dancing.
As long as it's good music, I'm
right.
down with
You're
that.
like, everybody lean, everybody up.
You two
well,
are
wouldn't that
ridiculous.
be an interesting scene?
I think we actually make Jocelyn's day. She's the most consistent person that's on here. I think we I do. Tanya says I do it when I'm in public. Hey,
yeah, that's good.
I'm gonna end up having to do this more too. I mean, this is the first I've ever heard of it. I just tried it with you guys today. For those of you who, just because I know a couple people just came in, if you go back and watch earlier in the video, Stacy had me stand up and learn how to use my body to find out if something is true or false. So I'm gonna start solving a lot of my. It's like now she's giving me my own personal magic 8-ball.
Oh, absolutely. I use it for everything. I use it for, like, when I get an inspiration about something, I tend to be the go big or go home, and I'm all in, and I kind of bulldoze, and I've learned, I've gotten bitten in the ass enough times to go, okay, this inspiration that I just received, am I supposed to act on it right now? And I'll either get a yes or a no. And then I'll, sort of step into the, okay, when am I supposed to act on it? If it's not now, when am I supposed to act on it? And I'll ask, is it within the next 3 months? Is it within the next 3 weeks? I try to sort of narrow it down, but it's a game changer. It's a game changer in life because the body doesn't lie. And so it helps me, especially because I'm always in my head, and I can, the self-doubt monkey can in my brain. So this is like, okay, my body said yes or no, so I'm going to trust that.
Yeah, I've been dealing with that too since I've gotten older. My body definitely says no a lot more.
That's so sad for you.
Dwayne, I'm older than you, and my body says yes more often
than
no.
You are not older than me. I'm older than you.
No, Dwayne, you're not older than me.
I was born in 1975.
Dwayne, wait a minute. How old are you? You're 48?
48, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me, and I'm 45. I thought I was older than you.
I know, so did I, until I saw your message with your birthday. I was like, holy shit, I thought he was older than me.
You know what's crazy? And we talk about this, I know this has nothing to do with horoscopes and stuff. You're gonna be 50 in 2 years. And this is how they always say, like, we're eating worse than we used to and everything's worse. But remember when you were a kid, a 50-year-old looked like they were on the way out.
They looked like Margaret Thatcher, whether they were a man or a woman. They always looked like Margaret Thatcher or Benny Hill. I mean, that was it.
And I think it's not, even though we're not, eating as clean as we used to, they say, but I think it's the least amount, the less physical labor that we have to do. Like, people before us, you did, like my grandfather and dad, you fixed your own car, you repaired your own driveway, you painted your own house, you did your own roofing, or you had more people were doing more trades. And now, my car breaks down, you take it to a mechanic.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
plumbing, and you call the plumber. And I think the wear and tear of the body that we're not doing is what's making people also
I also
look
think that
younger.
I think, in my case, McDonald's had a lot to do with it. We were on welfare. We couldn't afford a lot. My mother gave me McDonald's. And I think that poison kept me going to the point where people who are like eating organically and they're like, oh, I want clean organs and a liver and blah, blah, blah. For what? For death?
They can't fight. Dwayne's saying when you're super healthy, you can't fight off anything. Your
You
body
can't.
hasn't been at war. His body was constantly at war
Exactly.
with
You have to
food.
have poison to live in this world.
Well, I can tell you as well. It's really, not only is it different lifestyle that we're living, but it is also awareness of energy. And there is different energy that's floating around on the planet, and how we choose to engage with that energy makes all the difference. I'm not saying that meditation solves all problems, but people, meditators, people who use meditation as a tool, they live less stress lives. I don't know anyone who lives stress-free. I don't know that we're capable of that at this time, but there's much less stress in your life, and stress, quite frankly, is the big killer. That's the thing that gets us. So people who are choosing higher consciousness awareness, and I don't mean highfalutin, I mean, I'm aware of myself, I'm aware of my actions, I'm aware of what I'm putting into my body, I'm aware of the choices that I'm making, I'm aware of the things that I want to have in my life and those experiences. It changes the brain chemistry and the body chemistry. And these bodies were actually designed to live a long time.
Yeah,
And
letting
it's
things go.
it's all the energy that's shifted. So I think that plays a part too.
Letting
think
things
so.
go. If you saw pictures of me, I actually look younger in my 40s than I did in my 30s.
Probably stress
Because
related.
there was so much going on, and genetics does have a lot to play in it. I remember watching an interview on Johnny Carson with George Burns, and he was over 100, and Johnny says, "So you're down to? I heard you quit smoking." He's like, "No, I'm down to 5 cigars a day." And he said, "How does your doctor feel about it?" He goes, "My doctor's dead."
He lived to be over 100, I think, too.
Yeah, he did.
He sure
He
did.
He did.
That's
So
tough,
sometimes you can do very naughty things and still live long, but that's more genetics than anything else. Knowing people are always trying to search their DNA and my ancestry for their ethnic backgrounds and stuff. You need to know your family history for conditions. Like I know there were a lot of people in my family with high blood pressure, so I made the conscious decision at 30 cutting down on salt. Because you can also weed those things out of your genetics. You don't have to be, privy to that. So we talked about a lot of things.
I did the DNA test and a blood test. I got 85% butter. No, but you know what? It all comes down to the 3 M's: meditation, medication, and masturbation. Masturbation is underrated, and I think a lot more people would be happy if they just play with themselves a little more.
Stacy's laughter is not denial. Well, you know what? So, but here's
the whole show.
but here's the serious thing with
what can
that.
I add to that?
You know what? I mean, there could be truth to that, because you got to remember, and I don't want to say the old days, like hundreds of years ago, even when I was a kid, everything sexual was frowned upon. Don't touch yourself. Don't do this. Don't do that. And you think about it, all that stuff is just building up. Your body is trying to tell you to release something that everyone around you is telling you, no, do not. And so, I mean, seriously, we're being funny, but there is something to that, because I mean, you feel better afterwards, don't you?
Well, I used to have these conversations with my stepdaughters, and when they were younger, I'm sure they were mortified, but I was like, listen, we need to just, nobody else is telling you this shit. You need to know, and you don't have to tell me. I'm just giving you this information because you need to know it.
Right.
And it's important that you know it. And now the relationship that I have is they come to me with those things that they can't talk about with anybody else because they know she's going to give it to me straight. I'm not going to feel, overly embarrassed by, having the conversation, and I'm going to get some really honest information. That's what it's all about. Yeah, it was hidden. It was so hidden when
We
we
don't
were
promote
younger.
things that are natural, but we promote things that are. I remember being in Europe and seeing that in certain countries, they show things on TV and everything, and it's involving sex, and you could be
Oh,
3 years old watching it. But what they won't show to young people is murder and violence. So it's kind
right.
of the opposites. Here, it's okay to show, people getting
Blood, guts,
stabbed
and
and shot and
gore.
all that, but don't show a boob. Oh God,
Right.
no!
Heaven
Don't show a
forbid.
boob. And it's
And then the
just
kid gets freaked out when stuff starts making sense. And like, oh, that's why mommy throws her boots in the dryer and sits on top of it. Oh, I get it.
So you're talking to a person that was waiting for marriage to actually have sex. I was waiting till marriage, and so I
Aw.
actually lost my virginity at 23, and when I did, I didn't get married to that person. But when I did, when I finished, I was like, "What the hell was I waiting for?" Was
Right,
my
exactly.
response. Like,
Right.
Exactly.
why
Well,
have I
it's
been
that
waiting to do this?
That
again,
woman
it's
was
that
Rihanna.
judgment. What's
Huh?
that?
Said that woman was Rihanna.
Oh, shut up. No, but it is like I'm waiting for this thing that you're taught, this wholesome moment with the one you'll love, the fairy tale. And then I went and finally got some at 23, and I was like, screw this. What the hell was I waiting on? Then I lost my mind for about 3 months and did everything under the sun.
Oh, absolutely. You had your teenage energy a little bit delayed. That's
Yeah.
all. You just had to sow your wild oats a little bit later.
Yeah, and boy, did I so. I am
And that town
surprised.
was
The,
never
the
the
best thing
same.
I did was I did use protection, or else I'd probably have like 9 children right now
Right.
with 9 different women.
Sure.
All right. Well, that's been a great show today. Jocelyn and Tanya, thank you guys for coming in. I think, Tanya, this is your first time getting a reading or a horoscope. Remember, when you come to these mashups, it's the last Wednesday of every month at noon. We started a little late today, but that was my fault. At noon, and you can get a horoscope from Dwayne and guidance or a reading from Stacy. Both of them provide any of those services. You can find descriptions in the chat where you can reach out to them on their website if you're not familiar with that. Let's talk about what we've got as we always do. What we've got coming up. We'll go ahead and start with you, Dwayne.
I would like to say that in the future too, if anybody comments or whatever during our show, I can also do what I did for Keone and do your chart live on the show and do a little bit of interpreting of it. So I think that would be really fun and interesting.
That'd be
I've
great.
got all kinds of stuff going up. I'm styling a rap video or photo shoot. I'm doing working with the foster kids in California, working with kids in Ohio now to create all kinds of stuff like. I'm just got so much going on, and it's totally because it's the time of Aries. But you can always find out about what's going on with me at DwayneLive.com. Fragrances, comedy. I mean, what the hell else could I ask for, right?
Well, you're definitely way more interesting than I am, and I'm always so that you do. So thank you for all that you do, Dwayne. And I would love to see that where people come on and you do the birth chart, because that just would be so fun to get that information, especially focusing on that rising.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Great. Yeah, I love that. So, of course, Stacy, the Black Feather Intuitive, always, different things happening. The one thing that I'll just mention today is if you haven't already joined my completely free Black Feather community, you're definitely going to want to do that. Kind of all the support you can handle. We do readings in there. It's a community to make some friends that are like-hearted and like-minded and like-hearted souls, talking all things metaphysical. We also do a Spread Your Wings challenge in there to kind of flex our spiritual muscles and keep us primed on that spiritual path and journey. So would love to see you guys there. And you can find me on YouTube, Insta, and Facebook. Oh,
Have a
you're
great day,
paused.
everybody, and
Muted.
keep
We're
looking
having
up.
this awkward pause. Keone's silent. Oh, okay. Well, I couldn't hear you at all.
I can't hear at all either.
I can't hear him at all. So
I
anyway,
see.
have a great week, guys. So great to connect with you all. Enjoy your month. Happy Aries season. Take advantage of all of it. And yeah, the spaceship took Keone. Yes, it did. So we're waving from afar. Take me with you. Take me with you. Bye, Dwayne.